welcome to another episode of the Fast Lane Truck. And here I am again with Mr. Truck. Kent, thank you for taking the time. And today we're all about air ride. And we did this truck last time. We put an air suspension on it. But what is this, Kent?
This is the C7 Air Ride Hitch. This is a big airbag. It's actually similar size on a lot of semis.
So today we're going to put the C7 Air Ride Hitch to the test. Coming up next on the Fast Lane Truck. Alright, so none came out of the glass, and that's probably due to the fact that the truck already has air suspension, right, Kent?
Yeah, it's probably what it is, because I've done this before we changed the air suspension on the truck, and it was dramatic, but that's what we're faced with.
Alright, well, let's try it with the Coke, and we'll pump up the ball, the C7, and hopefully we'll be able to see that it's a little bit less bouncy in the back of this thing.
Yeah. Right, that Coke's a good test because that actually foams up more than the red watermelon pop does.
All right, we'll try. All right, so now we have inflated the C7 hitch, and we're going to do another run down this bad road and turn on the camera in there, and hopefully we'll see a difference in the amount of Coke that's splashing out. And what you're talking about here, Ken, is the fact that this really is all about the horse's comfort, right? So you don't feel that vibration coming through the floor into their hooves.
Exactly. It's that fatigue effect. And you can imagine being on all fours and stand on the floor that's vibrating 800-900 miles, which you would feel like when you got out of there. You'd be numb. You would not be responsive. You wouldn't be ready to go to work. Whether it's working cattle, whether or not it's a hunter jumper show or a rodeo, you would not feel right. And neither does the horse when it goes through all that vibration, plus all the bounces from the big potholes across the roads we have now. Our roads are in terrible shape, including interstates.
Yeah, we found a bad one here. And is it also better for trailer controller? Is it giving you a little bit more control over the trailer when you've got that bag underneath it?
Not necessarily. I think that connection is solid enough. I don't think that's necessarily effective. Your truck has its own suspension. It does its thing. The trailer will do a few different things back there, but it would be pretty dramatic for that hitch to actually affect you.
Now, people might be wondering what happens when you have air suspension and then basically a C7 air hitch on top of the air suspension. I mean, you can get some kind of funky resonance frequency where the two actually make it worse. Right,
and I've seen that happen with other air hitches and other cushion hitches. They can get to where they bounce like a basketball off the truck suspension. And I was very happy to see this one. This one works together with the Autoflex that we put on last week. They actually don't work against each other, and you don't feel a constant problem there at all, which is very good. So you're getting cushion from the Autoflex like you want on the truck. You're getting a cushion on the C7 Air Ride hitch because it's working separately, both off leveling valves. So a very similar principle on both of them. And that's what's in the rodeo world. A lot of those folks have, like, say, a C7 Freightliner or a 235 Peterbilt or an International, and they'll have an air ride axle on it. This way we know that they'll work with all of that, so you're going to feel safe putting this on your bigger truck. This is made for the bigger trucks. It's always rated at 30,000 pounds of a trailer for this hitch. So it's rated like your bigger hitch setups are anyway. So it's ready to go with the big boys and the little boys.
I have to hand it to you, Kent. You found the worst road possible. It's pretty bad. This is almost dirt road bad. Alright, I think from that video you can really tell the difference in the amount of vibration that's being passed along to the horses in the back.
Yes, that's the biggest problem. The big jolts, you'll get those every 2 or 3 miles, but that vibration's constant. Never lets off unless you have a C7 air ride suspension.
Man, this truck, Kent, is the snazziest 250 Super Duty around. You've got air suspension, you've got cameras, now you've got an air suspension hitch. It's pretty crazy what you can do to a pickup.
That's right. I mean, everybody customizes their pickup. It's just, you know, it's a fun thing to have, and you like to have it the way you want it, and we love our trucks.
As always, this is Roman and
Kent.
Mr. Truck. Check him out at MrTruck.com, and of course, check out TFLTruck.com for all your trucking needs, all trucks, all the time. Thanks for watching, and see you guys next time. Ciao.
Awesome.